Hello there.
Alright, let's talk a little bit of Godzilla X Kong, or Godzilla vs. Kong 2, or whatever you want to call it. It's coming out here in the next year, and there's a lot of leaks coming out for the movie that are pretty exciting, pretty awesome to read about. I thought they were worth discussing. I always like to discuss leaks, whether they're real or not. It's always just fun to theorize, and I'm one of those people that it doesn't really kill the movie to read about the leaks. I still get excited going to see the movie, but I understand the principle of people who hate leaks and hate spreading leaks or whatever. So if that's you, you can click off the video now, but if not, well then let's get into the leak.
Atomic Fair.
Okay, so before I get started, I want to credit a couple different sources. For one, War Stew has an amazing YouTube channel. You guys should go check it out. He talks a lot about different leaks and stuff like that. Other tidbits I got from Reddit and just different YouTube videos, but apparently there was a test screening for Godzilla vs. Kong 2. And before I even get into the leaks, I just want to say that apparently the early reviews are very good. And I guess maybe similar to Fast X, like the Fast and Furious franchise, Godzilla and vs. Kong, or the MonsterVerse, is really leaning into the more fantastical elements of that universe, which I think is good because Godzilla's always been that way in all the different eras. I mean, I guess other than like the very original 1954 Godzilla, but after that, Godzilla's always had sort of a exaggerated element to the movies. It works for them and it makes it better. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the leaks. Now, like I said, the early test screenings coming out are saying, first off, that the movie is very, very good. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to read that. But even more than that, it goes into detail about the plot of the movie. Now, starting off with this creature here that we saw in Call of Duty Warzone, kind of scribbled on the wall in the Warzone event. This is apparently the first Titan to ever exist, and that is Shimu. Now, apparently they're going to build this up through the movie, and it's sort of this colossal, undiscovered threat. But I guess the MonsterVerse is really leaning into using more unknown monsters or creating their own original monsters, probably because of rights issues with Toho. And honestly, corporations and big movie production studios really don't want to shell out the cash to buy rights for different characters, which is what they'd have to do. So I'm guessing that they're just going to be introducing new villains, which is a little disappointing, I won't lie. I wanted to see Space Godzilla and stuff like that, and there was actually another leak that apparently said Space Godzilla was going to be in the movie, but who even knows at this point? But this is all coming from the test screening that came out. Alright, so this originally, like I said, comes from a Reddit post, but I did discover the leak from watching a video from War Stew. Now, it says in the beginning that the new Empire's tone is exactly the same as Godzilla vs. Kong, the same director, but twice as goofy and crazy and very bombastic. Now, that's good to hear. Adam Wingard was a great choice for Godzilla vs. Kong, and you can sort of tell he's a little nerdy about the franchise, and that's what you want from a director, right? You want a director that's passionate about honoring the original tone and honoring the original characters and designs and stuff like that. Now, it says that the new Empire's tone is exactly the same as Godzilla vs. Kong, the same director, but twice as goofy and crazy and very bombastic. It says the opening credits start with Godzilla fighting a Titan called Arachnid, and he destroys it. Now that makes sense. I'm thinking Arachnid is probably the creature that we saw in Godzilla 2014. Kind of similar to another monster that Toho had in the original, I think the Showa era Godzilla movies. His name is slipping from me right now, but I'll put it on the screen when I'm editing it. Here's another interesting thing. It says the film opens with Kong hunting a pack of giant jackals. While he is eating, Monarch has a conversation about how lonely he feels and how he may be the last of his kind. It is empathized by Kong, who is seemingly looking not for prey or predators, but for family in the Hollow Earth. He is sad during some scenes. Now, this kind of is in line with the original Godzilla vs. Kong and just kind of the nature of Kong to begin with. He's sort of a sad boy. He is sort of a sad boy, sort of a lonely boy, and I mean, I think inevitably if this MonsterVerse continues, Kong's going to find a companion, and I think they're going to do some Planet of the Apes style thing where he becomes the leader of a new ape pack, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, the orangutan shown in the trailers, which I thought could have been sort of an evil son of Kong, is apparently called the Scar King. Now, there are two villains, Scar King and the first Titan to ever exist, Shimu. Now, Shimu is this creature that we saw on Call of Duty Warzone, like I said, in the cave, scribbled on the wall. I was hoping this would be Space Godzilla. Really. I don't know. Maybe this is going to be their version of Space Godzilla or something. I don't know. Shimu was revealed in the Call of Duty event about a year ago. He has the crystals on his back and can freeze the Earth. So that's interesting. Like I said, kind of sounds like Space Godzilla, to be honest with you. Shimu was born during the Ice Age. He is the origin and the all-father of all Titans. Cool. So it'll be cool to kind of see what the design of this creature is like. We kind of have a hint of him, sort of an outline, I guess, from looking at the Warzone event. That's kind of interesting to read. I really like the lore that they set up in this monsterverse, really, calling them Titans and everything. Yeah, really, they couldn't have done a better job. The flying creature in the mural that we saw, where a lot of people, including me, theorized that this was Space Godzilla, is apparently Godzilla. Now, I don't know if Godzilla in the past sprouted wings or if it was Mothra carrying Godzilla. I'm sort of leaning towards the latter, but maybe we'll find out in the movie. It says the best aspect of the film, surprisingly, are the humans. They've improved in just about every way above the previous 4 films. There is a lot of world building that connects the last movies. Once again, interesting to hear Adam Wingard is the man for this monsterverse, and he really does a good job, I think, in putting the lore together and really respecting the legacy that Godzilla's set for, I don't know, how many years? 75 years now? Something like that. Now, Scar King has a long history. He's an ancient species older than the Kong species who protected the Earth alongside his other orangutan pack. He eventually grew power-hungry and got corrupted by greed, betraying his kind until Godzilla came to defeat him and sealed him into the deepest pits of the hollow Earth along the chimps who joined his side. Now, that's so badass. I gotta be honest with you. I love that Godzilla's still the strongest. I mean, come on. It's Godzilla. That's my boy. Of course he's going to be the strongest, you know? He's a giant nuclear lizard. It's so cool. And it's funny because this is sort of an American monsterverse, and Kong is an American-made creature originally. It would make sense that they would make Kong stronger, but I like that they're not, you know, if that makes sense. I like that they're actually respecting the legacy of Godzilla and truly showing that he is the most powerful. So going back to the leak, Kong meets a new friend, Suko. He is a smaller ape who comes from Scar King's lair, and Kong raises him as his own. This is where the idea Son of Kong was inspired from. Okay, so that's cool. So I feel like I was like 20% right, I guess. I don't know. This is like a Scar King is not the son of Kong, but he does have a creature in his pack that becomes Kong's son-like figure. So that's interesting to read. Monarch and the military are colliding. They're looking for the solutions to keep the Titans away and under control. Scar King has a secret weapon of his own, the corpse of a giant serpent he uses as a whip. Godzilla is seen sleeping on the Colosseum in Rome. That's going to be a cool shot. I'm sure that'll be wallpaper worthy right there. Jaya has dreams and visions that lead to the release of Scar King from his prison, and the final battle is the absolute best. Kong gets an upgrade that is unbelievably crazy. I'm gonna theorize it's some sort of mech suit or something. That's just what I'm gonna theorize. Either that or it's powers, lightning powers like the original Godzilla vs. Kong movie. The undiscovered colossal threat is Shimu, so that's kind of something that I already talked about earlier. And the film has insanely good reviews from the test screening. The last thing it says here, and I guess, you know, what I said in my other video is completely correct here. Now, the last thing it says here, and I made a video kind of touching on this subject, is that Doug is going to return. Now, that was kind of a confirmation that we knew from reading Adam Wingard's old interviews where he literally said that Doug was going to be coming back. But this is awesome, guys. This is exciting. I'm excited for the movie. I'm excited for these leaks coming out, and I'll keep you guys updated as more leaks come out. Do I think this leak is real? I'm going to be honest with you, 100% yes. I believe this leak is completely real. Some of the details are just a little too accurate sounding and a little too specific to be fake, especially considering the test screening just came out a few days ago. But comment below what you guys think about these leaks. And until my next video, be safe and stay well, guys. Bye-bye.